I was reborn alongside Liu Ruyan. But what she didn't know was, she thought I was still the same lovesick fool from our past life, providing her with the best material conditions, sending her to the best university, supporting her startup even if it meant bankrupting my family, only to be squeezed dry and used by her in the end. Get lost. After all that, she would link arms with my sworn enemy and say to my face, finally, I no longer have to endure the humiliation your money brings me. Starting over, I swore I wouldn't humiliate her with even a single penny again. When selecting a one-on-one sponsorship recipient, she stood before me, arrogant and confident, but I deliberately bypassed her and chose the pitiful little girl next to her. At the annual charity donation event I attended on behalf of the GU Corporation to show how much we value the recipients. Every year, among the many sponsored students, we select one for a one-on-one sponsorship who interfaces directly with our people. Before going, I specifically notified Nan-E. He is my sworn enemy and also Liu Ruyan's white moonlight. In our past life, Liu Ruyan told me more than once, before you even sponsored me, Nan-E was already with me. It was you. You used your money to stand in the way of our love. This time, I wanted to see, before Liu Ruyan became my girlfriend, had Nan-E ever even looked her in the eye? When Nan-E and I arrived at the sponsorship hall, all the relevant personnel were present. Many people stood in the hall. I spotted Liu Ruyan at a glance. I have to say, purely in terms of aesthetics, my taste wasn't bad. Almost 1.7 meters tall, slender waist, long leg. Among the crowd of plainly dressed poor students, Liu Ruyan stood out beautifully. Noticing my gaze, Liu Ruyan straightened her back and lifted her chin even higher. I knew she was reborn, just like me. Once the most successful female entrepreneur, suddenly sent back to a time when she was just a poor student. I wondered if she was used to it yet. I walked in enthusiastically. The school staff greeted me warmly, continuously thanking the GU Corporation for giving underprivileged students a chance to study in peace. You see, even bystanders knew how to be grateful. But just because I liked her, Liu Ruyan viewed everything I gave as an insult. I offered a few modest words, saying it was only right. I was merely fulfilling an enterprise's social responsibility. The school staff, based on grades, awards, and other metrics, had conducted a screening. They recommended 10 candidates. I needed to pick one from among them. As the one-on-one sponsorship recipient, I sat at the conference table. The person in charge had the candidates line up, walk up to me one by one, and introduce themselves in order. Soon, it was Liu Ruyan's turn. She truly was excellent. Her grades were consistently in the top 10, and she had various provincial and national awards. The person in charge favored her highly, and asked her to say a few extra words to deepen my impression of her. But Liu Ruyan didn't appreciate it. She just coldly said, hello. The person in charge's face darkened. Liu Ruyan couldn't care less. She looked at me with arrogance and disdain. I turned to the person in charge. No need to force it. Let's meet the next student. Liu Ruyan froze for a moment and didn't leave immediately. The person in charge immediately urged, Student Liu, please don't hold up the time. Liu Ruyan gave me a cold glare, then turned and left. You see, if I hadn't chosen you, you wouldn't even be qualified to stand before me. I couldn't even be bothered to spare her a glance. I continued listening to the next candidate's profile. After hearing them all, I chose Li Xia. She hadn't won any awards, but she consistently ranked first in grade, and she was the only one with a bruise on her face. Rumor had it her alcoholic father hit her. She didn't seem to hold any expectations until I announced I had selected her. Only then did she stare at me fixedly with those timid eyes and said, thank you. Liu Ruyan was indignant and scoffed coldly. A nerd who only knows how to study. Li Xia's lips pressed tightly together. She didn't make a sound, but I wasn't going to indulge Liu Ruyan anymore. This candidate, are you verbally bullying your classmate? I spoke coldly. Liu Ruyan looked at me in extreme surprise at first, but her expression turned even more composed and aloof. I'm just telling the truth, so to speak. You don't think you did anything wrong? I couldn't be bothered talking to her and turned directly to the school staff. Is this the candidate you screened for us? I doubt the moral character of this sponsorship target. Who I want to sponsor is a future talent who can pass this kindness forward. This student treats her peers so domineeringly, mocking them at will. I highly doubt that when she gains power, she would ever extend a helping hand to the weak. I purposely threw these lofty accusations at her. Starting over, I had no intention of wasting kindness on an ungrateful wretch like her. Sure enough, the school staff took my words very seriously. The person in charge hurriedly jumped out, demanding Liu Ruyan apologize to Li Xia immediately, or else her sponsorship eligibility would be revoked. Liu Ruyan glared at me furiously. I didn't even look her in the eye. Didn't she say all the money I spent on her was an insult? I really wanted to see, would Liu Ruyan, with her inflated ego, lower herself for that bit of sponsorship money and beg for my insult? I won't apologize. Liu Ruyan was very stubborn. Don't think you can make me submit with money. One day, Liu Ruyan, will show you all that as a woman, I can succeed relying on myself. Liu Ruyan spoke righteously. Everyone was speechless. So, not sponsoring her meant bullying her? What massive audacity. Amidst the silence, a round of applause abruptly rang out. He eagerly spoke up for Liu Ruyan, trying right off the bat to pin the crime of bullying a poor student on me. Seeing him, Liu Ruyan's eyes practically sparkled. In her mind, she was probably scripting a touching melodrama where her secret wealthy crush braved immense pressure to stand up for her. Too bad. That touch of schadenfreude at the corner of Nan-E's mouth was obvious to me. He just wanted to use Liu Ruyan to disgust me. I wouldn't be as stupid as before, letting him play the good guy with just a couple of sentences. But she was the one who refused to apologize. I deliberately looked at Liu Ruyan with a despised gaze. As expected, she held her chin high and glared at me. I did nothing wrong. Why should I apologize? I pretended to sigh sigh helplessly. Our GU Corporation will absolutely not sponsor someone who doesn't know how to unite with classmates. However, I changed the subject. Since you think so highly of this student, Nanny, why doesn't the Nan family sponsor her instead? As soon as the words fell, Liu Ruyan's eyes lit up, and she looked at Nanny full of expectation. But Nanny stammered, looking troubled. Eventually, he offered a perfunctory, "I'll go back and discuss it with my family." Ha! I sneered coldly. He was just an unvalued illegitimate son from a side branch of the Nan family. As if any discussion would yield a result. Li Xia and I enrolled in the top-tier Jinghua University. Liu Ruyan went to the neighboring Normal University. Her grades were originally good enough for Jinghua, but Normal University offered subsidies. Room and board were cheap, and they promised her a monthly stipend. Li Xia and I were together when we bumped into Liu Ruyan head-on. Her frivolous gaze swept Li Xia up and down, and she sneered disdainfully. A kept plaything. This happened in our past life too. I liked her back then, and was always appearing beside her under various pretexts. Gradually, rumors spread that she had hitched her wagon to the young master of the GU family, set for life without any worries. What hypocrisy. When others talked about her, she flew into a rage out of humiliation. Now that it was someone else, she ruthlessly mocked the person standing exactly where she once stood. I was about to scold her, but Li Xia stepped forward, staring straight into Liu Ruyan's eyes. "You're jealous of me, aren't you?" She spoke in a very flat narrative tone. Her usually soft and cute little face carried an indomitable resolve. Liu Ruyan stepped back, trying hard to stay composed. "What is there for me to be jealous of?" Li Xia took another step forward. "You're jealous that I got into Jinghua, and you couldn't. You're jealous that student GU chose me, and didn't want you. You're jealous that the one standing next to student GU is me, not you." Li Xia unleashed a lethal three-hit combo. I practically wanted to applaud her. Liu Ruyan clearly couldn't fend it off. After all, she couldn't just lie through her teeth and say she looked down on Jinghua, so she went to Normal University instead. In the end, she could only drop one line: "I can't be bothered arguing with you," and fled in a panic. Only then did Li Xia stow away all her sharp edges and obediently stepped back to my side. I asked her, "Aren't you angry?" "I know the truth isn't what she said." "Very good. At least the one I picked this time had a clear head, unlike the last one, who turned into an ungrateful wretch over a couple of idle remarks." I thought that after this battle with Liu Ruyan's arrogant pride, she wouldn't come to bother me for a long time. I didn't expect I had underestimated her ability to bend and stretch. I was reading in the library when she found me. "Sheza, I'm giving you a chance to invest in my new energy company. As long as you put up 50 million, I'll give you 0.1% of the company's founder shares." Liu Ruyan stood in front of my desk, one hand propped on the tabletop, looking down at me from above, practically a modern domineering female CEO. "But who asks for investment like this?" I kicked the table leg, pushed away my chair and stood up. "You're too close to me." Liu Ruyan's hand slipped, staggering as she stood. Good. Although she still looked appetizingly disgusting, at least she wasn't breathing suffocatingly down my neck. The surrounding students reading were interrupted, casting condemning glances our way. I apologized very sincerely. "Sorry, this person from another school is harassing me." I couldn't hold back for a moment. "Who are you saying is harassing you?" Liu Ruyan raised her voice. The reading students immediately looked over with soaring gossip enthusiasm. Liu Ruyan instantly deflated. "Sheza, don't push it too far." Liu Ruyan was flustered and exasperated, but still had to force herself to be patient and negotiate with me. "Sheza, think this through. If you don't invest in my company, when your family goes bankrupt, don't blame me for not giving you a chance." Liu Ruyan looked down at me from above, just like looking at her own marionette. I suddenly understood what she meant. Right. In my past life, to support her startup, I secretly diverted all the funds in our cash flow to invest in her. As a result, due to the broken capital chain, my family almost went bankrupt. It was her core technology that achieved a breakthrough during that period, allowing her to raise new funds and helping the GU Corporation survive the crisis. No wonder she always acted so high and mighty in front of me. Turns out she always considered herself my family's savior. But if it hadn't been for giving her that huge sum of cash, why would GU's capital chain have broken in the first place? Figuring out her mental gymnastics, I had even less reason to be polite to her. "You want to pull investment? Do you have company qualifications? Do you have a team? Do you have a business plan? Do you have a return on investment statement?" A barrage of questions, and Liu Ruyan couldn't answer a single one. I looked at her with contempt. Coming to me for investment with absolutely nothing. Based on what? Based on that face of yours? I clearly intended to mock her, but who knows what went through her head. She actually looked at me with a face full of shame and indignation. "Sheza, don't think that just because you have some filthy money you can do whatever you want. I will absolutely not submit to you. If you won't invest, then fine. I'll wait to see you regret this." Then she dashed out of the library at a trot. It looked bizarrely theatrical, as if she had just been violated. But heaven is my witness. I genuinely just didn't want to spend money on her. Liu Ruyan still managed to pull investment. I heard Nanny helped her find 5 million in funding. In exchange for 51% of the founder shares in her newly established company, Liu Ruyan organized her startup team. She sought out all the people who started businesses with her in our past life. Unfortunately, only a few in similar circumstances listened to her spiel and joined her. As for her mentor from her past life, word is she was rejected without even getting a meeting. What a joke. He was a top-tier technical expert in the industry. Why would he pay her any attention? I was different, though. Using my status as an alumnus and bringing a 30 million initial investment, I happily reached a partnership with Professor Zhang. I even slipped Li Xia in while I was at it. Anyway, she was studying this major too, entering Professor Zhang's team early and going straight for a combined bachelor's master's PhD program later. How sweet is that? Not long after Li Xia started going, she began sharing her senior classmates' complaints about Liu Ruyan with me. For example, Liu Ruyan would issue orders. "In 3 minutes, I want the profiles of all our competitors." Her senior painstakingly opened a statistics website, clattered away at the keyboard, and clicked until the step where a paid membership was required to continue searching. Then he turned the computer screen around to face Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan's arrogant aura, higher than an 18-story building, instantly instantly deflated upon seeing the membership fee. That was a whole 300,000 to the Liu Ruyan of our past life, backed by the Goo Corporation. This would just be a few lines of free background data, but this time she had to experience firsthand just how expensive fresh data was. When the senior went to report back, Liu Ruyan pointed at his nose and scolded him for half an hour. Those are all industry giants. How could there be so little information? Little money, lots of demands. The senior couldn't take it anymore. He had a massive argument with Liu Ruyan and straight up quit. After returning, he ranted about Liu Ruyan to Li Xia and the others. She doesn't have the life of a princess, but she's riddled with princess syndrome. Liu Ruyan's startup team didn't last long. Just when some initial results came out, someone absconded with the core technology. Of course, Liu Ruyan claimed he stole it, but in reality, the person applied for the patent, and Liu Ruyan insisted on signing her own name. That person took the tech to a rich second-generations company. The income was 10 times what he made under Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan was furious and went to make a scene at that person's company. The rich kid shoved her a bit, and she grabbed a vase and smashed it at him. Both of them ended up in the hospital. I got the news and hurried to notify Nan-yi to go to the hospital together. In my past life, that rich kid didn't plan on letting Liu Ruyan off easily. I paid a huge price just to protect her. This time, well, it was time to watch Nan-yi's performance. In the ward, Liu Ruyan lay all alone on the hospital bed, her leg in a cast, hoisted high. On the other side, the rich kid sat in a wheelchair, several layers of gauze wrapped around his head. Behind him stood a menacing group of burly men. Liu Ruyan's face had gone pale from fear. It was indeed quite scary. In my past life, I blocked them out of the ward single-handedly. While negotiating with them, I was actually pretty intimidated inside too. But it was much better this time. This time, I was here for the show. Seeing me and Nan-yi, Liu Ruyan relaxed considerably. The rich kid noticed her gaze, turned his head directly, and asked me, "You her sugar daddy?" I hurriedly waved both hands and stepped back frantically. "I'm just passing by." Liu Ruyan glared at me angrily, but upon seeing Nan-yi beside me, a trace of realization entered her expression. The rich kid sure enough turned to Nan-yi. Nan-yi took a step forward. Liu Ruyan's eyes instantly turned tender as water, sparkling. "Don't misunderstand. She and I are ordinary classmates. I think as long as the matter between you two is cleared up, it'll be fine, right? Why let it escalate like this?" Nan-yi stepped forward and effeminately adjusted his bangs. "Misunderstand? I don't have any misunderstandings. My head was smashed open by her. I'm here for compensation." The rich kid sized Nan-yi up disdainfully. Nan-yi's eyes darted around, avoiding his gaze. The rich kid scoffed coldly. "What? Are you going to pay for her?" Nan-yi paused, still playing the peacemaker. "Not quite. Just seeing if you could do me a favor on my account and ask for a little less." The rich kid stroked his chin. "Sure. I was supposed to close a deal today, worth 100 million. She smashed my head and ruined the deal. She should have paid for it all. On your account, I'll give her a 10% discount. Just pay me 90 million. Did the wind blow that in? That's extortion." Nan-yi's expression changed, every trace of color instantly draining from his face. "I don't really know the student well. The light in her eyes visibly extinguished. With no one to stand up for her, the rich kid continued staring fiercely at Liu Ruyan. "If the compensation doesn't satisfy me, I'll send you behind bars." It was like this in my past life too. I quietly traded Goo Corporation's most profitable business line with the rich kid. Not only did I protect Liu Ruyan, I even helped her get the taken core technology back. This time, with no money and no backing, she dared to charge single-handedly and fight her way to their company. She probably still expected me to play the hero. Sure enough, Liu Ruyan looked at me. "Sheza, as long as you help me resolve this, I will. I'll be your girlfriend." She finished and shut her eyes tight, turning her head away, acting as if she had suffered a massive humiliation. I deliberately pretended to be moved, looking urgently at the rich kid, and asked in an overly dramatic tone, "Say, what will it take for you to let her go?" Consequently, someone on the rich kid's side recognized me, and the compensation he demanded went up instead of down. Oh my, it's the young master of the Goo family. My apologies for not recognizing Mount Tai. We're all our own people. Let's not talk about money. Look, if you want me to let your little lover go, it's simple. Trade it for Goo's retail channels. The rich kid looked at me with a smiling face. Liu Ruyan opened her eyes and whipped her head around. In her past life, she had taken over the Goo Corporation, so she naturally knew what Goo's retail channels meant. If she really were a little lover I was keeping, I would have just paid the money. But some people don't know their place, sullied by others. I don't have a hobby for recycling garbage. I rolled my eyes at Liu Ruyan in utter disgust and turned to leave the ward. Liu Ruyan wasn't sent to prison. What the rich kid wanted wasn't money anyway. He wanted the projects Liu Ruyan had. Liu Ruyan was forced to hand her entire startup team to the rich kid. Even she herself signed an indentured servitude contract, becoming an employee under the rich kid. Word has it that before graduation, she only counted as an intern, drawing a subsidy of 1,000 yuan a month. When Nanny found out, he immediately went to Liu Ruyan. The 5 million investment Nanny gave her was pulled from a sugar mama older sister of his. Now, not seeing a single cent of return is one thing. Even the principal was completely lost. That sugar mama suspected he and the little vixen colluded to scam her money and dumped him in a fit of rage. Nanny couldn't swallow his anger, so of course he went to find Liu Ruyan. Word has it the two of them fought back and forth for a few rounds, and eventually, Liu Ruyan compromised, signing a 5 million IOU for him. With her current 1,000 yuan a month intern subsidy, I doubt she'd pay it off in her next life. I secretly laughed at Nanyi's misery, but soon, Ruyan, I couldn't laugh anymore. Liu Ruyan, this shameless woman, actually turned around and set her sights on me again. Early morning, I headed out from the dorm for class. As soon as I got downstairs, I saw Liu Ruyan waiting at the door. In her hands were 2 big steamed buns bought from the cafeteria. Sheza, seeing me, she trotted over. Here, your favorite big steamed buns. She handed the buns to me, forcing a smile she thought was beautiful. I was so disgusted I almost threw up yesterday's dinner. Liu Ruyan wasn't stupid, and naturally saw my disgust. She looked impatient. You don't like it? In the past you didn't. She stopped halfway through. Seeing her looking terrified of letting something slip, I sneered inwardly. I don't even like eating steamed buns. He doesn't like eating steamed buns. I turned my head. Liu had walked up behind me at some point. She held a pink insulated lunchbox in both hands. On top of the lunchbox was a glass bottle of fresh milk. I told you, you don't need to buy me breakfast every day. Skipping breakfast is bad for the stomach. Liu handed me the milk. Once, I had a stomachache and she happened to catch it. I casually mentioned, it might be because I didn't eat breakfast. From then on, she prepared a different variety of breakfast for me every day. Rain or shine, without fail. Seeing no one was paying attention to her, Liu Ruyan gave a cold snort, turned, and left. But she hadn't given up. She always found ways to appear out of the blue next to me, like an annoying fly. When I had class, she'd save a seat early and wave at me from a distance. I complained directly to the teacher that someone was disrupting my studying. When I went to eat at the cafeteria, she'd stand in the long line and tell me to quickly cut in front of her. I just turned around and went to the stir-fry dining hall on the 3rd floor. When I went home on weekends, she'd wait downstairs and say she wanted to leave with me. I shook her off and got into the luxury car that came to pick me up. I was annoyed beyond words. When Liu found out, she carved out more time to accompany me. Her own coursework was already very demanding, and she had to participate in the professor's project group. Her rest time was extremely limited, but around me, she was always unhurried and composed. At night, when she finished studying, I'd walk her back to her dorm. The breeze brushed by, carrying a sweet, fresh scent. It wasn't the smell of flowers or grass. It was Liu. I couldn't help but lean closer to her, a bit intoxicated. What are you guys doing? A scream shattered it all. Liu Ruyan stood behind us, her face twisted, her eyes locked on me. She looked like she wanted to charge over and claw at me the next second. I pulled Liu behind me. What right do you have to question me? I am. Liu Ruyan's voice was hoarse, as if someone had her by the throat. Her expression went from anger to bewilderment, from bewilderment to regret. In the end, it actually revealed a sliver of agony. You are mine. She stared at me with burning eyes, as if I were the most handsome guy in the world. Too bad I didn't believe it was genuine, and even if it was too disgusting. I suppressed my emotions and turned to Liu. Go upstairs early. Liu nodded. I'll watch you go back. Okay. I turned and left. Liu Ruyan kept calling after me from behind. I never looked back. She was a mud pit. In my past life, I stepped into it. Getting covered in mud was one thing, but it also ruined me and my family. This time, all I needed to do was bypass her. The frequency of Liu seeking me out didn't change. Eating breakfast together, taking walks together at night, until one day, Liu didn't appear from morning till night. I felt a bit uneasy. I asked her senior, and the senior said he didn't see her at the lab either. He wanted to get some materials from her, but couldn't reach her. I used my family's connections to investigate, and found that she had left school late last night. Then, she lost contact. Investigating further, I discovered the last place she appeared was a dirty, messy alley. That area was Liu's home. I remembered her alcoholic father, and the bruises she had when I first met her. I hurriedly brought people and rushed over. It was a tiny, dilapidated house. Even the walls were black. A burly man reeking of alcohol, holding a liquor bottle, leaned against the wall. Where is Liu? The man ignored me. The people I brought went up and shook him a few times. Only then did he burp, and drunkenly said, taken away, of course. Little tramp. Thought if she didn't come back I wouldn't find her. Didn't the sugar daddy she hooked up with find her to pay off my debts? I had someone go up and slap him twice. Only then did he hold his head and beg for mercy, giving up the name of the creditor, Brother Long. I took my people and rushed there without stopping. Seeing my large numbers, Brother Long only agreed to let me bring one person in to talk. I agreed without hesitation. In the middle of the room sat one table and one stool. Liu sat on the stool. A burly man stood guard on either side of her. She had obvious red marks on her face, yet she gritted her teeth, holding back tears, without a sound. The little girl was tough. Brother Long waved the burly men away. Only then did Liu notice me. In an instant, tears fell like rain. Why are you here? Liu tried to get up and come over, but was held down firmly. Don't rush, little girl. I see your boyfriend here is quite well off. Maybe he'll just help pay off your dad's gambling debts. You two can leave in peace. Wouldn't that be nice? Brother Long ran over and picked up the IOU, spreading it out in front of me. Handsome. Looking at your outfit, you probably don't care about $1 million or so. You help the little girl pay the money, and I'll respectfully send you both out. How about that? I looked at the number on the IOU. A little over 1.2 million. I'll pay. I agreed without hesitation. Liu's eyes dimmed for a moment, and she suddenly struggled violently. Bring the IOU here. I owe it. Don't bother him. Liu's voice carried a hint of crying. My heart ached for her. I just wanted to pay the money and take her away immediately. But one of Brother Long's underlings whispered something in his ear. Brother Long's gaze instantly changed. The young master of the Gu family? Forgive my disrespect. Just a measly million or so. Word gets out and people would say Brother Long, look down on you. Brother Long waved his hand. Someone handed over a new IOU. 10 million, with a daily interest rate of 1%. Brother Long pointed straight at the signature line. Young Master Gu, sign here. And we're all good. This was getting insatiably greedy. I pressed my lips together, staying silent. Brother Long's underlings slowly surrounded us. My bodyguards went on full alert. Just as the two sides were at a stalemate, someone broke down the door. It was the police. Before entering, I had ordered them to call the police. The police officer's speed truly didn't disappoint me. Brother Long and his gang clearly panicked. Someone, in their nervousness, grabbed a stool and smashed it at me. I didn't have time to dodge, but the expected pain never arrived. It was Liu. She stood in in front of me, risking her life. Brother Long was arrested. Li Xia ended up in the hospital. During the investigation, it was discovered that Liu Ruyan had called Li Xia out in the middle of the night. Unfortunately, she insisted she was only passing a message from Li Xia's father. She couldn't be convicted. Liu Ruyan gave a statement and left the police station, but both Li Xia and I knew this incident couldn't be disconnected from her. During Li Xia's hospitalization, Liu Ruyan actually had the nerve to visit. Li Xia's shoulder was injured, and she was half lying in bed. I was beside her, feeding her bird's nest soup. She was originally a bit embarrassed, but as soon as Liu Ruyan entered, she took the spoon I offered into her mouth, drank it slowly, and signaled with her eyes that she wanted more. Liu Ruyan stared at us with a dark expression, her face contorted. Sheza, what's so good about her? The daughter of a gambler. Is she worth you acting like this? Or is it you just enjoy this kind of sick joy of playing with a poor family's kid in the palm of your hand? Liu Ruyan was getting slightly unhinged. Her words didn't even attempt to hide her rebirth anymore, but her accusations only made me want to laugh. Playing? In our past life, for her sake. I didn't hesitate to throw the entire Gu Corporation away. She called that playing. I couldn't even be bothered arguing with her. Liu Ruyan, you're not welcome here. Please leave. I issued an eviction order directly, yet Liu Ruyan didn't turn and leave like before. She walked over and crouched beside me, trying to grab my hand. I dodged. She looked a little angry, but still tried hard to suppress her temper. Sheza, stop throwing a tantrum. Let's go back to how we used to be. You stay by my side, and I promise I'll never treat you badly again, okay? No. Just like in my past life when I begged her to spare the Gu Corporation, to spare my parents. She linked arms with Nani, stepped on my hand on the ground, and said, I don't want to. Li Xia recovered quickly. On the first day the doctor cleared her for discharge. She reported back to the lab. My parents were frightened by the incident with Brother Long, and knowing Li Xia saved me, often asked me to bring her home. I could only run back and forth between school and home. Days were peaceful, until one day, I noticed my dad looking troubled. Asking him, I learned the family company had issues. Long-term collaborative clients were suddenly being poached. When bidding, our base price was always figured out by rivals. Even our proudest retail channels were constantly being interfered with, and the one interfering was none other than this kind of thing is hard to find evidence for, so we had to start with the new energy project. After Liu Ruyan's team was absorbed by the rich kid's team, things hadn't gone smoothly. I simply took them to court, accusing them of plagiarizing our patents. At the court hearing, Liu Ruyan was arrogant, holding various data comparisons, trying to prove they developed it first, while we only presented two pieces of evidence. One was video footage, surveillance video of that bought-off senior secretly copying lab data and privately handing it over to Liu Ruyan. The other was the real core data comparison. The data that senior copied wasn't the real data at all, yet Liu Ruyan, holding two different sets of data, was accusing us of plagiarism. The verdict was unquestionable. Multiple charges established. A case was filed right in court. Although a sentence couldn't be pronounced on the spot, Liu Ruyan couldn't escape. Before the final verdict came down, Liu Ruyan asked to meet me one last time. I went. Li Xia went too, waiting for me not far away. Liu Ruyan watched Li Xia's departing back and gave a cold sneer. I can't believe you still dare to like poor girls. I knew she had figured out I was reborn too. Being ungrateful and biting the hand that feeds you is a matter of character, not a matter of poverty. I was too lazy to hide it anymore. You really are reborn. You're just like me. We are the same kind. Liu Ruyan stared at me intensely. I was truly curious. How thick was her skin to still think I would change my mind? Liu Ruyan. I rarely called her name. She looked over with expectation. I smiled. Do you remember? You still owe a 5 million debt? Liu Ruyan's face stiffened. I couldn't be bothered being fake with her anymore. Liu Ruyan. Actually, seeing you like this now, I'm very happy. In our past life, because I liked you, you always felt you were a rank above me. You stepped on my shoulders to reach places that didn't belong to you. But not only were you ungrateful, you also thought my ladder was dirty. If you were so disgusted, you could have just told me, enjoying everything I gave you on one hand, while wishing you could stomp me into the mud on the other. Starting over. I haven't done anything wrong by you. I merely took back the things I once gave you. But look, this is where you were meant to stay. Liu Ruyan's face turned to ash. She slumped down dejectedly. I ignored her pathetic state and turned to walk toward Li Xia. She didn't even spare Liu Ruyan a glance. Her heart and eyes fully focused solely on me. Her eyelashes were lowered, looking a bit lonely. I was just about to comfort her, but she raised her face, looking at me with a radiant smile. I am a poor girl, but I won't be one forever. She waved her phone at me. Inside was a text message. Your new patent application has been approved. I will use more patents as a ladder to walk to your side step by step. Li Xia looked at me with a beaming smile. I pulled her slender waist into my arms and kissed her fiercely.